Your presence graces the air, and soon, everyone will see.
Hi, are you Maud?
Yes, hi. It takes nothing special to mop up after the dying.
You're prettier than the last one.
But to save a soul, that's quite something. Bless Amanda's body, and bless her mind, which is shrouded in darkness.
When you pray, do you get a response?
Oh, it's like he's physically in me.
For me, like one of the things that I wanted, it was a sort of fun challenge, I guess, was just seeing if I was able to put the audience in her shoes to the point where sort of they can actually empathize. And I mean, yeah, you don't have all the information, but I guess I just never wanted it to be, oh, we're just watching this weird girl doing weird stuff. And I think maybe, I don't know, I feel like there's sort of an instinct for a lot of people or in society at large or whatever. If you see or hear of somebody behaving strangely or doing things that on the surface seem completely inexplicable and like, oh, I'd never do that. I don't know, the more I've been, I think whilst writing this and before, I was just thinking, you know, none of us know what we are or aren't or could or couldn't be capable of doing given completely different life circumstances and unexpected events. And, you know, even the worst, like most awful things that you hear about people doing, it's, I'd imagine in pretty much every case, it's quite a long, complicated series of events leading up to it. And, you know, everybody's own psychological state and emotions sort of taken up into it. And it's, yeah, these sort of things don't happen overnight. So I guess it sort of seemed like a fun challenge to see if I could get the audience to sort of almost like walk with Maud right up until that moment without not quite realize what they've been doing or what they've been witnessing until then, was the idea.
That's a good way. That's a really good way to put it. I guess the other question too is, how did you bring Morfydd Clark and Jennifer Ehle onto that wavelength? How did you all find the right tone?
I think it's, I mean, we hardly had any rehearsal time together or anything. And you know, I'd never met Jennifer before. We had, you know, we obviously offered her the role. I had kind of a chat on the phone with her before she came to England a few days before the shoot. I think it's just making sure that, I mean, if you're all on the same, I mean, they got the script and like they liked the script, and I felt and understood the characters. And we had like a few talks before, and me and Morfydd read through the script a couple of times together just to make sure that she sort of knows exactly why each scene is there and what it's doing and what it means. So then when you go in, and I gave them both a few films to watch just to sort of, and I think I'd sent them quite a few mood boards and things just so that they had a bit more of a sense of the kind of tone of the world that the whole thing's happening in, because both of them have to sort of do and say some fairly sort of silly stuff throughout it. So I just sort of wanted to make sure it's like, no, there is like a playfulness and a theatricality to the film. You're allowed to sort of lean into that sometimes. And having said that, I think they are both phenomenally kind of effortless and natural performers. So in a way, I think that balances out quite well with the sort of more campy, mad stuff.
Yeah. Every time you say silly or campy, I'm just reminded that, yes, this is the sort of thing where if you're on a set, it would be
deeply silly. What filmmaking is, it's kind of like, it's like you sort of, it's very easy to sort of, it's weird because it is like a phenomenal amount of like work and stuff, and so many different people and stuff going into all of it. Sometimes easy to lose track, and even like when you're doing shorts and stuff, it's easy to lose track of the fact that you're like, oh, we're making a film, this is great, like, you know, not a life or death situation here. We've got, I don't know. If anything, it would just maybe, it was lovely. I mean, even the film, I hope that people can laugh at it. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I've done a few interviews where I sort of keep talking about how funny a performer I think Morfydd is. I'm like, oh, I think maybe I've just got too much distance to it, or I'm too close to it now and I've lost track of it. And I keep thinking I've made this like fun little film. And some interviews are like, oh no, I thought it was very sad. I was like, I do everything.
It's how he guides me.
My little savior.
Hey, I thought that was you. What are you up to?
I'm a private carer.
You're still nursing?
What?
They know what happened.
All the good girls go to hell, 'cause even God herself
I just want to see you loosen up.
I've got more important things on my mind.
There's my little saint.
Maud, he isn't real.
Nothing worthwhile comes easily.
The good girls go to hell. I tried to ignore you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
You must be the loneliest girl I've ever seen.
I'm ready and open. I feel fuller of your love than ever before. I have a responsibility.
Oh, yes, of course.
This is life and death on another level. What if I'm getting it all wrong?